just know there's probably more advanced type of techniques or training or strategies out there to really, really help you get ahead. All right, hey, I have a question. So where have you learned more? At school, in your standard courses, in a curriculum, right? Like in your traditional college setting or whatnot? Or have you learned more investing or purchasing like a course or a program, or getting direct mentorship from maybe a mentor that you have in a very specific industry, skill set, or business that you want to get better in? For me, it's always been the latter, right? It's always been in something that I really wanted to learn more about and gain skill set. Like, for example, I sucked at marketing stuff and all this good stuff, right? With marketing, business, things like that, until I started hanging around marketers. Isn't that something? And then I sucked with money and all this good stuff until I started hanging around with people that knew a lot more about money than me. Does that make sense? And that also goes to that also pertains to professionals who take the same kind of curriculums at school and in standardized updates to hold certain licenses like CPAs, financial advisors, things of that nature. So the reason why I mention that is because, unfortunately, that standardized training when it comes to certain aspects of what we want to gain from as far as knowledge, education, it's hurting us as well. So if you're talking to, let's just say, a CPA or an advisor that is getting their updates and their trainings and their knowledge base from just standardized schooling, and how many of you guys would agree that that's probably not the most updated kind of training and education that they could possibly get? Would you guys agree with that? For me, I really thought about this and I thought, damn, that's really a big problem, because a lot of people, see, in my industry, I'm in the personal finance industry, and in my industry, a lot of people are getting advice from those that are learning from the standard schooling and curriculums that are so dated, that are so for the masses, like the sheep and whatnot. And it's just hurting people out there. So when someone goes, well, I've never heard of that method before when it comes to how I protect my money and how I, not give so much money away to Uncle Sam. How do I keep up to like maybe even 40% of my own hard-earned income away from taxes? My guy hasn't taught me that yet. No kidding, right? How can that person teach you those advanced methods and maybe not so mainstream methods that he or she is probably learning in your standardized courses and curriculums? How would you expect them to teach you that when that's kind of the training that they're getting? Does that make sense? Because in order for someone to be a specialist, they have to go to specialty schools or have specialty kind of training. And it's no different in finance. It's no different in how you're trying to better yourself financially with anything. If you're taking courses and programs and things like that, I would highly recommend that you find specialists to improve in the areas that you're trying to improve in. In my space, guys, it's crazy because a lot of people say, well, my guy hasn't told me about this particular tax advantage. My guy hasn't told me, or my CPA hasn't told me, how I can deduct an extra, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus $1,000 a year because I'm running a business. Well, if your guy, again, like I say this again, if your guy is only giving you just standardized information and getting it to you is even more watered down, how do you expect to actually learn something new? Get informed, right? Get the strategies out there. I would highly recommend it, and I would actually pay for it, guys. Right? There's a saying that I heard recently, and it just really stuck with me, and it said, when you pay for something, you pay more attention, and so now you not just hope that the outcome of the result is going to work for you. You expect it to. So hopefully that makes sense. I just hope that maybe I can kind of open a few eyeballs out there to kind of wake up to know that if you're going through standardized curriculums and trainings, just know, right? It doesn't matter what field or industry you're in. Just know there's probably more advanced type of techniques or training or strategies out there to really, really help you get ahead. Anyways, bye for now.